So, in the end of the meeting, we chose the plan.
In the end. At the end. Which one was it?
They look the same. They are not the same.
At the end of the meeting. In the end, we chose it. I understood every word. So why did mine sound wrong?
Have you ever finished a sentence and felt something was wrong?
Oh, yes, many times.
Welcome to SomSee Studio. I am David.
And I am Alice. Hello, everyone.
Today, we look at two tiny groups of words,
They look almost the same.
but they are not the same at all.
Here they are. At the end. In the end.
Say them with us. At the end.
In the end.
Did you feel a difference? Probably not yet.
That is normal. Most learners mix these two.
We got a message from a listener. Her name is Mia.
She works in an office. She is new there.
In her first big meeting, she said this.
In the end of the meeting, we chose the plan.
Everyone understood her, but something sounded strange.
One small word was in the wrong place.
And she felt it. That feeling is a good sign.
It really is. It means your ear is growing.
Your ear grows before your mouth does.
That is true for everyone. You hear the problem first.
And a few weeks later, your mouth catches up.
So today, we fix this for good.
Here is how we do it at SomSee Studio.
We do not translate. We put English on a picture.
Your head already has pictures all day long.
Language is just a label on the picture.
A native speaker goes picture, then English, one step.
A learner goes picture, then home language, then English.
That is 2 steps, and that is one too many.
That extra step is your 2 seconds of silence.
We are going to remove it today.
We have 10 picture cards for you.
1 picture, 1 English sentence. That is all.
No lists, no grammar names, just pictures.
You do not have to write anything down.
Just listen and see the picture.
If you can see it, you can say it.
That is the whole idea of this channel.
And before we start, one small thing.
If this channel helps you, press like.
And subscribe so we can keep talking slowly.
It really helps a small studio like ours.
Thank you. Okay, are you ready?
Get your tea or your steering wheel.
Please keep your eyes on the road.
Good point. Just listen. That is enough.
Let us open card 1.
Close your eyes for 1 second. Not while driving.
Thank you, Alice.
Now picture a long hallway.
A long, quiet hallway with a gray floor and white walls.
Walk down it in your head. Keep walking.
There is a door. Where is the door?
The door is at the end of the hall.
That is card 1. Listen again.
The door is at the end of the hall.
The door is at the end of the hall.
Now you, say it with us. Nice. Did you see the hallway?
If you saw it, the label is on the picture.
So what does at the end mean here?
It means the last point, the final spot.
A hallway has a start and a finish.
At the end is the finish.
Now listen to one small word, of.
At the end of the hall.
Of the hall. It is always there.
This is going to be a fun one. That little word is the whole rule.
Say it again with us. At the end of.
At the end of.
Now try a different hallway. A hotel hallway.
Doors on both sides. A window far away.
The window is at the end of the hall.
Same picture, same chunk, a different place.
Now card 2. A new picture.
You are in a cinema. The lights are low.
The music gets soft. The credits start.
And your friend is crying.
Your friend is always crying.
We cried at the end of the movie.
We cried at the end of the movie.
We cried at the end of the movie.
Same small word again. Of the movie.
A movie has a start and a finish.
At the end is the finish.
Card 3. Back to Mia's office.
People are standing up and chairs move.
Laptops close and the meeting is over.
We chose it at the end of the meeting.
We chose it at the end of the meeting.
We chose it at the end of the meeting.
Do you hear the word of again?
At the end of the meeting.
Not in the end of the meeting.
That was Mia's small mistake.
A very common one. Very, very common.
Card 4. Look at a calendar.
The last day of the month has a circle.
Why is there a circle?
Because that is payday.
Now I am interested.
I get paid at the end of the month.
I get paid at the end of the month.
I get paid at the end of the month.
At the end of the month. There is of again.
Card 5. A book in your hands.
You are holding it open. The last page.
Your thumb is almost at the back cover.
The best part is at the end of the book.
The best part is at the end of the book.
The best part is at the end of the book.
So we have 5 pictures now.
A hall, a movie, a meeting, a month, a book.
What do all 5 have?
A start and a finish.
And what word came every single time?
Of.
Say it with us. Of.
Of. Such a tiny word.
Tiny, but it holds the whole picture together.
Without it, the sentence falls over.
That is rule 1 already.
At the end needs of.
At the end needs of.
Write that on your hand.
Or just keep the picture.
The picture is safer. Hands get washed.
Now we change the picture completely.
A brand new one. Ready?
Card 6. You are in a shop.
You want a bag. There are 2.
A big one and a small one.
You pick up the big one. You put it down.
You pick up the small one. You put it down.
20 minutes go by.
20 minutes for a bag?
We have all done it.
Then you walk to the counter with the small bag.
In the end, I chose the small one.
In the end, I chose the small one.
In the end, I chose the small one.
Now listen closely. Is there a word of?
No, there is no of.
In the end stands alone.
It comes first, then a comma, then your sentence.
In the end, comma, I chose the small one.
And what does it mean?
It means after everything, the result.
A long story happened, then this was the answer.
This is so interesting because the picture is not a place.
Right, it is not a hallway.
It is a whole story with a result at the end.
Think of a film, not a photo.
A photo shows one moment. A film shows a journey.
At the end of is the photo.
In the end is the whole film.
Card 7. Look out a window.
It is raining, and raining hard.
You had a plan. A picnic.
You checked the sky 10 times.
You picked up your umbrella. Then you put it down.
In the end, we stayed home.
In the end, we stayed home.
In the end, we stayed home.
Again, no of anywhere.
In the end, then a comma, then the result.
Say it with us now.
In the end, we stayed home. Very good. Your mouth is learning.
Card 8. A long, hard day.
The bus was late and the coffee spilled.
The printer ate your paper.
The printer always eats the paper.
You get home, you sit down, and you smile.
In the end, everything worked out.
In the end, everything worked out.
In the end, everything worked out.
Feel the shape of that sentence.
Many small problems, then one good result.
That is in the end.
Here is a simple test for you.
Can you say finally instead?
If yes, use in the end.
In the end, we stayed home.
Finally, we stayed home. Same feeling.
Now try that test with the hallway.
Finally, the door is in the hall. It does sound very strange.
It does, so we say at the end of the hall. The test works. Keep it in your pocket.
Let us try the test once more.
In the end, everything worked out.
Finally, everything worked out. It fits.
The test is not perfect, but it helps a lot.
One more thing about in the end.
It is about time and effort.
You waited. You tried. You changed your mind.
And then the result.
So, in the end is a story word.
And at the end of is a place word.
Or a time word. A moment on a line.
That is such a good point.
2 pictures. 2 chunks.
Let us hold them side by side.
At the end of the movie, we cried.
In the end, we bought 2 tickets.
Different pictures. Can you feel it now?
If not yet, please do not worry.
We will say them many more times.
Repeating is not boring. It is how it sticks.
Exactly. So let us keep going.
Now, 2 special chunks.
These 2 come up every single day.
Card 9 first. Nighttime.
You are home with your shoes off and the lights low.
You sit on the sofa. Your body feels heavy.
At the end of the day, I just want tea.
At the end of the day, I just want tea.
At the end of the day, I just want tea.
Do you hear the word of?
Yes, at the end of the day.
So this one joins our first family. Good.
But here is the fun part.
This chunk has 2 pictures.
Picture 1 is a real evening, real time.
Picture 2 is not about time at all.
Listen to this one.
At the end of the day, family is what matters.
There is no evening in that sentence.
It means after everything, this is the truth.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
People say it a lot at work.
At the end of the day, we need a decision.
At the end of the day, We need a decision.
So keep both pictures for this one.
A quiet evening or the real truth.
Both use of. That never changes.
Let us hear both pictures one more time.
At the end of the day, I wash the dishes.
That is a real evening, a real time.
At the end of the day, health comes first.
That is the truth picture, no evening at all.
Same words, two pictures. Your ear will choose.
And now card 10.
A calendar again. Friday has a circle.
You have a report on your desk.
You point at Friday and say this.
I will finish it by the end of the week.
I will finish it by the end of the week.
I will finish it by the end of the week.
Look at the first word, by.
Not at, by.
By means before that time or on that time.
It gives you a door, not a wall.
That is a nice way to say it.
You can finish on Wednesday. Still fine.
You can finish on Friday. Still fine.
Saturday? Not fine.
Your boss will find you.
So, at the end of the week is the moment.
And by the end of the week is any time before it.
Say them slowly with us.
At the end of the week.
By the end of the week.
One more use of by for you.
Send me the photos by the end of the day. That means today, at any hour.
Before midnight. Any time is fine.
Wonderful. That was 10 cards.
10 pictures. 10 English sentences.
And no translation anywhere.
Now it is time for the mistake zone.
This is such a good one because I get to correct David.
Ha, here we go.
I will say some wrong sentences.
And I will fix them. Slowly.
Wait, I thought I fixed them.
Fine, you fix them.
Thank you. Wrong sentence number 1.
In the end of the movie, she smiled.
Stop. Something is broken.
What is broken?
You said in, but you kept of.
Ah, so those two cannot live together.
They cannot. Please fix it.
At the end of the movie, she smiled.
Perfect. Wrong sentence number 2.
At the end, I decided to stay.
That is almost okay.
Almost?
You mean the result of a long story.
I do.
Then use in the end.
In the end, I decided to stay.
Much better. Number 3.
In the end of the street, there is a shop.
Oh no. Where is that shop?
In a place, on a street.
A place needs at the end of.
At the end of the street, there is a shop.
Yes. Now a tricky one.
I am ready.
At the end, they got married.
That is a story, a long one.
So?
In the end, they got married.
Lovely. 2 more and then we stop.
I am still here. Give me a hard one.
In the end of the year, we moved house.
Oh, that one hurts a little.
Why does it hurt?
Because a year is a calendar. It has a last day.
So?
At the end of the year, we moved house.
Correct. Last one, and it is sneaky.
I am ready for it.
At the end, I forgave him.
A long story with many feelings and many days.
So which one?
In the end, I forgave him.
Beautiful work. Now let us think about Mia again.
She said, In the end of the meeting, we chose the plan.
What was her picture?
A meeting. It has a start and a finish.
So her picture was a moment in time.
At the end of the meeting, we chose the plan.
At the end of the meeting, we chose the plan.
And she could add one more sentence.
In the end, it worked out well.
In the end, it worked out well.
2 sentences, 2 pictures. No mixing.
Now let us make this very small.
2 rules. That is all you need.
Rule 1. At the end needs of.
At the end needs of.
Rule 2. In the end stands alone.
In the end stands alone.
Say both rules with us.
At the end needs of.
If you forget everything else, keep those 2.
They are small. They will fit in your head.
2 rules. That is your whole lesson today.
Practice time. Here is the rule.
David, tell them the rule.
Try to say it before I do.
You will get a few seconds.
Do not worry about being wrong.
Being wrong is how the picture sticks.
Question 1. You are walking down a road.
There is a bank far away.
It sits where the road finishes.
Say it now.
The bank is at the end of the road.
The bank is at the end of the road.
Question 2. You argued with your brother. For 2 hours. About pizza toppings?
A very important topic.
Then you both agreed.
Say the result.
In the end, we agreed.
In the end, we agreed. Did you hear the small pause? In the end, comma.
That pause helps your listener a lot.
Question 3. Your rent is due on the last day.
The last day of the month.
Say when you pay.
I pay at the end of the month. I pay at the end of the month.
Question 4. A long film. The last 5 minutes.
A song plays over the credits.
Say when the song plays.
The song plays at the end of the film.
The song plays at the end of the film.
Notice that film and movie both work here. Yes, same picture, different word.
Question 5. You looked at 10 hotels.
10, that is a lot of hotels.
You booked the cheapest one.
Say the result. In the end, we booked the cheapest one.
In the end, we booked the cheapest one.
Question 6. Your homework is due on Sunday.
Sunday is the finish of the week.
Use the word by. I will finish it by the end of the week.
I will finish it by the end of the week.
Be careful with that one. It uses by.
By gives you room. At gives you a moment.
Question 7. It is late. You are tired.
You want one simple thing.
Start with at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I just want quiet.
At the end of the day, I just want quiet.
Question 8. You were sick all week.
You rested. You drank water. You slept.
Now you feel fine again.
Say the result. In the end, I got better.
In the end, I got better.
That was 8 questions. How did you do?
Please do not count too carefully.
Why not?
Because 3 out of 8 means you are learning.
That is true. Learning is not a test.
And you can play this part again tomorrow.
Tomorrow it will be easier, really.
Your brain works while you sleep.
That is not a joke. It is real.
You will wake up a little better at this.
So be kind to yourself today.
And come back tomorrow. We will be right here.
Let us put these into your real week.
So much of our life is on a screen now.
True. Let us start there.
You are watching a series on your phone.
There is a short scene after the credits.
At the end of the episode, there is a surprise.
At the end of the episode, there is a surprise.
Now, money.
Your apps renew on the same day.
They take my money at the end of the month.
They take my money at the end of the month.
Wow, I did not expect that to feel so real.
Sorry about that.
Now, work. You are in a video call.
12 faces on the screen and someone is muted.
Someone is always muted.
You want to ask your question later.
At the end of the call, can I ask something?
At the end of the call, can I ask something?
That one is very useful. Save it.
Now think about a long online form.
20 questions. A small progress bar.
At the end of the form, you press Send.
At the end of the form, you press Send.
And here is a money one.
You compared 3 phone plans for a week.
In the end, I kept my old plan.
In the end, I kept my old plan.
Now your group chat.
5 friends, 20 messages, and no decision.
Then one person picks a restaurant.
In the end, we went to the noodle place.
In the end, we went to the noodle place.
Now your online course.
You almost stopped in week 2.
But you kept going, slowly.
In the end, I finished the course.
In the end, I finished the course.
And one more, a work project.
The plan changed 3 times.
The team was tired.
In the end, we shipped it.
In the end, we shipped it.
One more from real life. Travel.
Your train was late. Your gate changed.
You ran across the airport.
In the end, I got home.
In the end, I got home.
And a small one for the morning.
At the end of the platform, there is a lift.
At the end of the platform, there is a lift.
Do you see the pattern now?
A moment in time takes at the end of.
A long story takes in the end.
Same 2 pictures, every single time.
2 pictures and you are done.
Now our fixed corner.
Collocation corner. Words that travel together.
What is a collocation? Very simple.
Words that always walk side by side.
You do not build them. You take them whole.
Number 1. At the end of the day.
The picture is a dark evening.
Or the real truth about something.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day.
In a sentence, at the end of the day, I am proud of you.
That is such a nice way to think about it.
Number 2, at the end of the month.
The picture is a calendar, the last square.
Money moves on that day.
At the end of the month.
At the end of the month.
In a sentence,
We check the numbers at the end of the month.
Number 3. By the end of the week.
The picture is Friday with a circle.
You have time before it, but not after.
By the end of the week.
By the end of the week.
In a sentence, send it to me by the end of the week.
3 chunks. Take them whole.
Do not build them word by word.
Now, phrasal verb corner. The ones you can't translate.
Do not translate these. Just see them.
Number 1. End up.
The picture. You did not plan this, but here you are.
Remember the bag? The big one and the small one?
I ended up with the small one.
I ended up with the small one.
I ended up with the small one.
And the rain? The picnic?
We ended up staying home.
We ended up staying home.
See the picture. A surprise landing place.
One more with end up.
We ended up talking for 3 hours.
We ended up talking for 3 hours.
You did not plan 3 hours. It just happened.
Number 2. Turn out.
The picture. You did not know the result.
Then you saw it, and it was fine.
The meeting plan? We were nervous.
It turned out well.
It turned out well.
It turned out well.
You can also say, it turned out to be easy.
Or this, the film turned out to be very long.
You did not know before. Now you do.
Number 3. Work out.
The picture. A messy problem becomes okay.
The long day. The bus. The printer.
In the end, everything worked out.
Everything worked out.
Everything worked out.
One more with work out.
Do not worry, it will work out.
That is a very kind sentence.
Say it to a friend this week.
Now, all 6, slowly. Ready?
At the end of the day.
At the end of the month.
By the end of the week.
End up.
Turn out.
Work out. Say them once more in your head.
Those 6 will show up all week.
Ooh, good idea. Watch for them.
When you hear one, smile.
You will know the picture already.
And that is a very good feeling.
Let us close this up.
3 sentences. That is our summary.
1. At the end needs of.
2. In the end stands alone, and it means the result.
3. Do not translate. Put English on the picture.
Say them once with us.
Now a small confession from me.
Please, go ahead. For years, I said, in the end of the year.
Really?
Every December, in every email.
Nobody told you?
Nobody. People understood me, so they let it go.
That happens a lot.
Then one day, I saw the picture. A calendar.
A last square.
Yes, and it fixed itself.
That is how pictures work.
Nobody had to explain the grammar to me.
The picture did the work.
Your turn, David.
Mine is the opposite problem.
Oh?
I was scared of in the end.
Scared? Why?
I thought it sounded too big and too dramatic.
It is not dramatic at all.
I know that now. It is a normal, quiet word.
So I used it too much, and you never used it.
Between us, we were one good speaker.
Perfect team.
And that is the real message today.
Everybody has one small habit like this.
It is not a sign of bad English.
It only means nobody drew you the picture.
Now you have it. 10 cards, 2 rules.
Keep them. They are yours.
Now, over to you.
Tell us in the comments. 2 questions.
1. What is one thing you always do at the end of the day?
2. What is one thing that worked out in the end for you?
And a bonus question.
Bonus. Which one did you mix up more? At or in?
Write it in English. Short is fine.
Mistakes are fine, really.
We read the comments. All of them.
And Mia, if you were listening,
Your next meeting will sound great.
at the end of the meeting, you will say it right.
And in the end, it will feel easy.
Nicely done.
Thank you for listening to SomSee Studio.
Take care of yourself. See you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.